So we're at the William Darwin Bridge now on Google Earth, and named after the great railway pioneer, our very own Isambard Kingdom Brunel. And he lived nearby Dundrum Station, Mount Anvil, and he would have used used the line, but also he was responsible for the line being there. And there was the Dublin, let me get this right, Dublin Wicklow Railway, and he won the overall contract to build the whole line. Initially, he just had the Bray to, let me get this right, the Bray to Dundrum Railway, and then another contractor was awarded from Harcourt Road, not Harcourt Street, Harcourt Road to Dundrum, and then didn't build that section of line in time or to satisfaction, I guess. So Dargan won the contract, and he built the line, and it was initially a single track line. Then it came a double track. So as I've said in previous videos, I'm just using Google Earth to go along the old line. Now this stage of the line, was repurposed as the Luas. So we're just there at, it looks a lot different than it had looked 65 years ago. There would have been a bridge over the Dundrum Main Street, and an embankment heading towards Goatstown. So we're going down through Dundrum on the way, Churchtown I should say, not Goatstown. Like Goatstown came in ahead. So there we have the Luas, and I remember being on it 2004 for the first time. It was such a thrill to be on it. And Dublin Corporation, you have to commend them because they preserved the track bed after 1970, with the exception of a few gardens being built on in and around Dundrum. The track bed was protected, and we're going to head up towards the magnificent 9 arches of Milltown limestone viaduct, one of the most significant features on the line. And fortunately, it wasn't demolished. It was too expensive to demolish. But here we have the Luas stop at Windy Arbour. Now there was a very unusual footbridge there, right up to the Dart, or the Luas works took place I guess the work started around 2000 or thereabouts, and there was a unusual footbridge there, and you used to be at one stage back in the 80s you could climb into it and get up and get a feeling for what it was like back in the railway days, looking towards Dublin Mountains, and then you turn around, you're looking towards the Milltown viaduct, and I believe that bridge was salvaged and was put up for sale. But it was a most unusual bridge. So we're heading down towards the Milltown viaduct, and magnificent viaduct that it is. I did take some pictures of it. I'll have to try and locate them back in 1988, and it was blocked off at either end. And here we go. Here's the 9 arches. And there was actually a telegraph pole on the viaduct, a kind of eeriness of a telegraph pole on the viaduct. So, as I said before, New Year's Eve was the last train, and then the lifting train over the viaduct would have been, 9 Arches Bridge would have been, I guess, in 1959. The tracks were lifted over the bridge. And then Milltown Station was opened in the I think it was 1860s it was opened. Just to put into perspective, it was initially only a handful of stations that were open. So you had Shankill, Carrickmines, Stillorgan, Dundrum, and Dundrum was the last station for a number of years before the temporary station at Harcourt Road. And then Milltown Station was opened. Wasn't a particularly busy station. Became a halt under Dundrum in its latter years, and we have the line heading now towards Ranelagh. It's not easy to do this. I'm holding the phone as I'm doing this, by the way, so it's not easy, but I appreciate people that watch these videos. So we're into the heartland of Ranelagh here, built up area. So really, looking back, when the line crossed the Milltown viaduct, it was really, you're heading towards countryside to its detriment, and it was a kind of an affluent area. And the line was run down, no question about it. They could have done numerous things to keep the line going. You know, it could have been unmanned stations, could have been a rail car. You know, much as the Luas is now, there was missed opportunities, but you know, it was a different Ireland 70 years ago. But the buses were impacting as well. So we're heading towards, we have the Beechwood stop. Now the Beechwood stop is where the original Ranelagh station was. So what they did when they built the line 24 years ago, they actually removed the bridge and the remnants of the station. There was a subway there, a tiled subway, and remnants of the station. Originally the station had, it was the last station to open on the line. It didn't open till, let me see, 18, I'll have to put these dates in because off the top of my head I've forgotten now. I think it was the 1880s or something it opened. So surprisingly it was quite late, and you know, Ranelagh was starting to be a built up Victorian area at that stage. So had a wooden platform, but of course it closed on New Year's Eve 1958. So this is all the embankment they would have cleared back then, and fortunately, as I said, the line wasn't built on. They didn't demolish these embankments. The bridges were taken away soon as the line closed, but fortunately the embankments weren't removed. So we have the Ranelagh station here now, and I'm thinking if it was still a dark line, I think there would have been a railway station here. This is quite a busy Luas stop now, of course. So we're heading in towards Charman Place and towards the end of the Harcourt side of the Luas line. So we're heading over the Grand Canal. So there's a station over the Grand Canal, Charman Place. So this is fascinating for me. The infrastructure that they removed after the closure of the line. There would have been, so you come up to the embankment here where my arrow is, Charman Place, and over the Royal Canal, Grand Canal, and there would have been tracks that would have spanned out into an engine shed on the right here, and on the left there would have been a signal cabin up here, and there's a wall down there. I did a video down there. If you look through my videos, there's a wall down there. Let me see now if I can see it. So the engine shed would have been over here on the right, and see the way Peter's Place and the way the track is, it drops down onto Harcourt and Adelaide Road. So Albert Place, just about here, if I can get it right. There would have been a bridge there, and the signal cabin would have been there. The Harcourt Street signal cabin would have been there. So it's quite an expansive area with an engine shed and a signal cabin, and I think about 6 or 7 tracks were spanning this area, elevated above the station. Now we have the Luas, you can see winding around to Harcourt Street, and here we have it. Here we have it. There's a lot of building going on as we speak at the moment at Harcourt Street. Well, here you have the Harcourt Street shed. So there would have been a water tank there, and I think about 6 tracks would have spanned the road. There was 2 bridges there, 2 girder bridges there, and they would have spanned the road there, Harcourt Road and Adelaide Road, and fanned out into the engine shed and sidings there. And so you would just come back up to the station here. So it's just the station building. It's just left, and on the right here it has Cafe Nero. Now these would have been Dunlop Tar Company eventually took it over, so they would have been the goods sidings. The goods were stopped, I think, in 1920s. They were all removed down to so the Great Southern Railway Company took over the line. So where would they move down to? Was it Houston Station? And someone will correct me on that one, of course. And we have the dome-shaped end of the line where the famous Valentine's Day crash took place, where the train went through the buffer stops and onto Hatch Street. So we have the building there. And always interesting that they never, to me, let's pull back here just quickly, end this video. This area must have been built on, because it would have been more rational if the line had been built on right up to Grafton Street or right up to Stephen's Green, but wasn't to be. And to its detriment, it was isolated. Let's have a look here now. Let's just try something a bit different. So here you have Harcourt Street here on Google Earth. These iconic windows on the station building. Here's the front there, and the Luas outside. It's funny, right up to 49, I think there was a tram outside, so it wasn't there wasn't difficult connections to get from Harcourt Street into the city centre. But London, it was the same. London didn't have a central station around Oxford Street. They had stations on the outskirts of London, huge, massive population, of course. But Dublin had the same problem. We had stations. The closest station to the city centre is probably Tower Street, and very busy station too. But Pearse Station was beside Trinity, Euston Station down by Guinness's, Broadstone up by Fisber, and Colony Station over by Amiens Street. So there were a lot of these stations weren't central at all, but they could have possibly had an underground to connect up Harcourt Street with Broadstone, so it could have saved both lines. But we do have the Luas as a replacement. Anyway, it's one of my longest videos. Actually, this is my longest videos, if anybody has got this far, and I appreciate you watching them. So I'll end it now. So it was a nice little experiment to do this. I was really enjoying doing this, and just to see what the infrastructure, what Google Earth, when you go into Google Earth, you can see, the standout features of the line, the 9 arches, Bridesland Viaduct. Will ever see transport again? Currently unlikely. And surviving stations and infrastructure. But anyway, hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll make a video in the coming days. Okay, all the best, take care. Please hit the like button and tell your friends about my channel. Thank you.